I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is Bella Vista City Council regular meeting, April 27, 2026. And we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Council members Hart,
Here.
Hughes, here. Newport, here. Wilms,
Here.
Vista, here. And Hanchel.
Here. Thank you. We'll start with citizen input. Per the rules, there's a 3-minute per person time limit to address the council on any topic of that person's choosing. The first person is J.B. Portillo of 3 Kirk Circle in Bella Vista.
Hey everybody, good to see you. I have a nice surprise for you tonight, and I want you to meet what I consider my motley crew. I'm going to tell you all about it in a minute. Let me get in costume just a second. Okay, Jenny Vance, Jerry Horner, and Colleen
Poplowski.
Yes, that's her name. Okay, so anyway, I props are important. At least you'll remember how goofy that was tonight, if nothing else. But we are here to introduce a new community initiative, and it's called Grow Native Bella Vista. Now, this isn't a new idea because that native plants have been around forever. We just are taking the bull by the horns and trying to advance it. We're working closely with Tris, the city, and a bunch of other things. So our mission is simple. It is to inspire and empower residents to create beautiful, sustainable landscapes using native plants, plants that are already here. We recently have been affiliated and accepted by the Arkansas Federation of Garden Clubs. We're not totally a garden club, but we're working really closely with all garden clubs, and they like us. The Federation does. I don't know about the other garden clubs. All right. We're a volunteer-driven group made up of local residents, gardeners, and community members who care deeply about Bella Vista. This isn't starting something new, folks. It's not starting it from scratch. It's about building on what the community is always special. Bella Vista is known for its natural beauty, and we want to help preserve and enhance that, yard by yard and neighborhood by neighborhood. Why does this matter? Native plants do a lot of quiet work for us. They support pollinators like bees and butterflies and birds. They require less water and maintenance once they're established, and they help protect our soil and our waterways. And anyway, they're beautiful, right? It's not about going wild. It's about creating landscapes that are both attractive and practical for homeowners. And as you know, in some of our ordinances, there we have a specific percentage of yard that can be native, right? So we're just capitalizing on what's already there. Our approach is simple and approachable. We're planning easy, beginner-friendly workshops, demonstration gardens that people can see and learn from, partnerships with groups like the garden clubs, the Master Naturalists, and the Benton County Master Gardeners, of whom you are a member, Mr. Wells. Community programs and affiliations with community programs that recognize outstanding native plant yards. We want to meet people where they are, whether they're planting one flower bed or they're redoing their whole yard. We can help. Here's how we can help you. It's my time up already. Oh, man. All right.
Yes, thank you, though.
All right. Well, anyway, we're not asking for money. We're asking to be a partner.
Thank you. The next speaker is Becky Parmalee of 2 Broham Lane in Bella Vista.
Good evening. My name is Becky Parmalee, and I am the Bella Vista Farmers and Makers Market market manager. And I come before you tonight with gratitude. First, I want to thank the council and the mayor for all of your continued support. This is my 4th season. We're getting ready to launch on Sunday as your market manager. But I also want to give a shout out to the city staff. Taylor and Connor have been amazing. Cassie continues to go above and beyond for all of the amazing things here in our community. And this public-private partnership continues to grow small business and push economic development here in Bella Vista. So if you recall my end-of-year report last year, we finished the year with 114 small businesses on the books, and we're starting this year with 89. If you're keeping tally, that's about 25 more than we started last year with, and I believe that this is going to be the biggest year on record for the market. Additional sponsors and grants, we participate in the Double Your Dollars program, and so we offer access for grant money for those that are food insecure. You can participate with the food stamp program, the senior market vouchers, and WIC through the farmers market. We also do a lot of food rescue. We partner with food banks to make sure that any leftover produce on Sunday is distributed directly into the community on Monday. So I'm really proud of those accomplishments. I'd like to thank the Bella Vista Business Association, the community television station, and Discover Bella Vista for their continued support and promotion of the market, as well, of course, as the city. I want to brag for just another moment about the positive experience of our vendors and our shoppers, because we do adhere to a pretty family-friendly code of conduct. We want to make sure that everyone has a great experience at the market. And so we're excited about another really great year. And so in my last 50 seconds, I'd be happy to entertain questions, as I really would love for you to keep us in mind for future city planning. So as the market continues to grow, it continues to offer a huge economic base for a low entry point into small business in the community. And we do attract businesses from an hour radius around us. So we are bringing people here to spend money in Bella Vista. And so if you have any questions or you want to know more about the market, feel free to reach out directly. But we kick off on Sunday, and I am so excited and mildly nervous. And it's going to be another great, amazing year. So thank you for your continued support.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I believe that's Sunday, May 3rd. They kick off. And we do have council member reply if anyone wants to say anything. Shay?
I was just wondering, is there a new location or anything we should know about?
There it is, yes. Sorry. The market is at 10 Sugar Creek Shopping Center. So for any natives, that is the old movie theater site that got new asphalt today. And we should have stripes sometime this week, hopefully. But yes, 10 Sugar Creek Center. From 8 to 1 on Sundays. The ribbon cutting is the 3rd at 11:30. I'd love it if you could all join us.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Anna?
I don't have any questions, but thank you for coming and speaking. I absolutely love the farmers market. I think it's a really important part of our community. And so I'm glad you came out and spoke on it tonight. And I agree with support that you've received from the city staff has been incredible, and from Positively Bella Vista. So I wish you best of luck on your opening day. And I hope to be there to see you as well. And then JB, I just want to thank you for coming up and speaking with your group. Yeah, native plants are really important to Northwest Arkansas. My husband has a garden that he's been, curating for a few years now. And I absolutely love your hat because I'm obsessed with mushrooms. So great job.
You can borrow it.
Okay, thank you. Wendy?
Just want to say thank you both to JD and her motley crew and to Becky. These are both just great examples of what Bella can do, the positive things that come forth from our citizens who are so engaged. And just thank you guys for what y'all do.
Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is the monthly financial report, and we have recently gotten financials for both January and February. So I'm going to focus on the period ending February 28, 2026. The city sales tax is up compared to last year, 7.1%. The county sales tax is down 7.7%, which is unusual, and the Director of Finance and myself suspect that is because of the ongoing rebate issues, particularly in Bentonville. The total revenues are up 3.9%, so we feel pretty good about the situation so far this year. On the expense side, it's only been 2 months. It's hard to draw too much from that, but we are $527,000 under budget, so it's a pretty good start regardless of how you slice it. So we feel pretty good about the way we started the year, and hopefully we'll continue to do, I believe we'll continue to do well this year, but we'll take it month by month. The next issue is the 2026 Youth Council presentation. Cassie Lapp and the folks from the Youth Council, I'll announce the people who are graduating today. Braden Edwards.
Hang on, you want me to come up?
Yeah, please.
Can I just say something really quick?
Sure, go ahead.
So this was a really cool group of kids, and they're really awesome, and we have a small but mighty group sitting back here. And we met once monthly from September to April, and we covered a myriad of city topics, from police and fire to budgeting, to trails, everything. And I'm just blown away by these kids' intriguing questions and their thoughtful responses and their lofty goals that they have for themselves. And I would expect these young minds to do very well in their future, and I wish you guys the best of luck. So,
Thank you. Appreciate that. Braden Edwards, if you could come up when you're called. Noah Lessenberry couldn't be here today. Isaac Merriman. Sophia Merriman. Emily Onog. And Mason Weaver.
Sophia. And can we get a group real quick?
Yeah.
Do you want a picture? I can take a picture.
Let me get one done first. Here. Sorry.
Again, quick.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Absolutely. Your baby.
Congratulations, you guys.
Thank you, Cassie. I echo what Cassie said about the students, and thank the students for participating. We really appreciate it. The next item is Litter Cleanup Award to Tim Bishire. Tim, if you want to come forward, I'll go ahead and read the award, and then we'll have a picture. Certificate of recognition presented to Tim Bishire in recognition of your dedication to leading the charge for at least the last 8 years to keep our community clean and beautiful by organizing, promoting, and hosting the creative and well-attended annual litter cleanup event, 6 and 60. It is through these volunteer community-led efforts that we see a real impact to the issue of litter along city streets, an increase in awareness of this issue, and a growing pride among residents for the city in which they live. Presented this 27th day of April, 2026.
You got it.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate it very much.
Annie? All right.
All right, thanks. Thank you. All right, thanks, everybody.
Tim has been a real pioneer for us in that field, and it has led to more and growing groups of people working on litter, and it's very noticeable when you drive around the city streets. So we really appreciate it. Let's see, the next item is the mayor's monarch pledge. So I'll read this. It's a proclamation. Whereas the monarch butterfly is an iconic North American species whose multi-generational migration and metamorphosis from caterpillar to butterfly has captured the imagination of millions of Americans. And whereas both the western and eastern monarch populations have seen significant declines, with less than 1% of the western monarch population remaining, while the eastern population has fallen by as much as 90%. And whereas the city of Bella Vista recognizes that human health ultimately depends on well-functioning ecosystems, and that biodiverse regions can better support food production, healthy soil, and air quality, and can foster healthy connections between humans and wildlife. And whereas cities, towns, and counties have a critical role to play to help save the monarch butterfly, and the city of Bella Vista is striving to become a leader. And whereas on March 31, 2026, I, John D. Flynn, signed the National Wildlife Federation's Mayor's Monarch Pledge, and have officially committed to taking meaningful action to protect the monarch butterfly. And whereas the city of Bella Vista has committed to engaging with gardening leaders to support butterfly conservation, engaging with the Property Owners Association to identify planting opportunities, engaging with developers to identify planting opportunities for new developments, and monitoring the ordinances to allow and/or require planting opportunities and reduce light pollution, amongst other action items. And whereas every resident of the city of Bella Vista can make a difference for the monarch by planting native milkweed and nectar plants to provide habitat for the monarch and pollinators in locations where people live, work, learn, play, and worship. And now, therefore, I, John D. Flynn, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Bella Vista, do hereby proclaim April 27, 2026 as Mayor's Monarch Pledge Day in the city of Bella Vista, and encourage all residents to participate in community activities that support and celebrate monarch conservation. Thank you very much. We're very pleased to be involved in encouraging the monarch in our city. Now I have a proclamation for a Garden for Wildlife Month of May. It's lucky we have these garden club people here today with all these garden-related activities. This is Proclamation Garden for Wildlife Month. The city of Bella Vista recognizes that wildlife species are declining at an unprecedented rate. Globally, there are over 1 million species endangered with extinction, and 1/3 of North American wildlife species are at increased risk of extinction in the coming decades. And whereas the city of Bella Vista recognizes that human health ultimately depends on well-functioning ecosystems, and that biodiverse regions can better support food production, healthy soil, and air quality, and can foster healthy connections between humans and wildlife. And whereas the city of Bella Vista celebrates local wildlife and wild places, such as the many acres of common property zoned as nature preservation. And whereas the city of Bella Vista is working to build a healthy, sustainable, and wildlife-friendly community that brings the many benefits of nature to all corners of our community by preserving and protecting the natural identity of Bella Vista, including the tree canopy, bluffs, and watersheds. And whereas Garden for Wildlife Month is a national initiative of the National Wildlife Federation that empowers Americans to support local wildlife like birds and pollinators by planting native plants in their garden and throughout the community to help restore and connect habitat. And whereas the city of Bella Vista supports and promotes Garden for Wildlife Month throughout the community and encourages residents to participate, including certifying and maintaining their properties as a certified wildlife habitat with the National Wildlife Federation. And whereas the city of Bella Vista will continue to support local efforts that protect, restore, and conserve habitat and vital environmental resources, as well as foster a greater connection between residents and wildlife. And now therefore I, John D. Flynn, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Bella Vista, do hereby proclaim the month of May as Garden for Wildlife Month in the city of Bella Vista, and encourage all residents to plant native plants and participate in community activities that support and celebrate healthy, sustainable, wildlife-friendly communities. Dated April 27, 2026. Thank you for your attention to that.
Sorry.
And now I'd like to entertain a motion to suspend the rules of order and procedure to allow all ordinances on the agenda to be read by title only.
So moved.
Second. That was Larry Wilms and Travis Hart. Roll call vote.
Council members Hart,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
and Hanschel.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Thank you for that. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. So I'd like a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
That was Travis Harp and Anna Isbell. A roll call vote.
Council members Hart,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
and Hanschel.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Thank you for that. Next one is under unfinished business, an ordinance prohibiting camping in vehicle habitation on certain public property, providing definitions, establishing enforcement procedures, providing exemptions, providing penalties, and for other purposes. This is on second reading. Is there any discussion?
I guess
Larry?
the only comment that I would have is that based on what we've gotten feedback from the police department, that it's not an obvious issue or problem for us now. And so I would be inclined to forego adoption of this ordinance as not needed at this time for solving a problem in the city. So I'm not necessarily in support of it at this point.
Any more discussion? Travis?
Yeah, I'll just remind my colleagues on the council that this is a proactive measure. Lots of other cities in our area are dealing with these problems, and I think it's, personally, I think it's irresponsible to think that we're somehow immune to that problem. And so, like I said, this is a proactive measure, and I agree with you, Larry. It's not a big problem now. However, if we put measures in place to prevent it from ever becoming a problem, then we have the ability to prevent a problem from ever occurring in our city. So that was my opinion.
Wendy?
Something that does make us unique compared to other communities in our area that do have similar ordinances is that we don't really have public parks. We have hardly any public land. Our public land, I think, is really limited to the right-of-ways, and the police department, fire department, the library, I'm not sure it's considered public land or not because it's private ownership on that. So I'm more in agreement with Mr. Willems in that it's not really a problem we have because we are a unique community and that we don't have public parks where people would be camping.
Okay, so this is still on second reading. You want to just go till third reading next month and then vote? Okay, we'll move along. The next one is an ordinance amending ordinance number 2025-16, establishing a business license to exempt short-term rental management businesses from the licensing requirement and for other purposes. And this is on second reading. Any discussion, Travis?
Yeah, so if I'll just refresh everyone's memory on my stance on this and why I was bringing this up, to try to just clarify some of the confusion. And so I mentioned at the work session that I really kind of withdrew my opinion about what should or shouldn't be in the business license. My only hope is that somebody could pick up the phone, call the city and say, hey, I plan on doing X, Y, and Z. Do I need a business license? Yes or no? And we should be able to provide them that answer. One of the pushbacks we got from the staff attorney was, well, they could be lying about what their business is. Well, I don't think that should be up to us to say if you're going to do X, Y, and Z, then yes, you need one. And if you're going to do X, Y, and Z, then no, you don't need one. That's my only hope for this, honestly.
Larry?
I think, I don't have the desire to exempt rental management of short-term rental businesses only. So this might modify our ordinance currently. Businesses that manage short-term rental along with other types of real estate, if they qualify as a home business, they're exempt. Our code is clear. Sometimes it may take an application for the individual to answer all the questions. There are 10 points that they need to pass in order to qualify as a home business in Bella Vista. That's typical with other communities. So I'm not sure that this is going to help clarify that all other than exempt businesses that do short-term rentals. And I don't believe that that's a positive move in our part based upon how our ordinance is now, and it covers and addresses that issue. So if there is a question about whether they need one or not, come in and fill out an application. Based on the results of their application, they would either be accepted or rejected. And so I think it just confuses the issue. I can't support it.
Whitney, did you want to discuss Q at this point, or?
Mayor, that wouldn't be in order.
Okay, so we'll keep going in order then. Okay. So this is also on second reading. So we'll leave it at that. Okay, next one is N, ordinance requiring the Bella Vista Advertising and Promotion Commission to publish financial statements on its official website and for other purposes. Travis, this was your.
Thanks, Mayor. Just to reiterate, this is a transparency thing. I'm regretful that I didn't include this when we approved the minutes, which I'm thankful we were able to get that passed. This is just transparency. This is a tax that, if you have a business where you do prepared food, or if you have any lodging, then your clientele is subject to this tax. I think a lot of people don't know about this tax. A lot of people that I've had conversations with, they don't even know that this tax is occurring on these businesses. And I find it odd that they don't have to publish their financials, so I'm just asking the council to mandate that they publish their financials for ease of access to that information.
I guess in response to that, Councilor, is that information is readily available to anyone who has an interest at all in looking at that information by sending a request to the Advertising and Promotion Commission. It's a FOIA request. The information is available readily. There's no issues about it. I don't know. It provides an extra effort on their part to add this to the website. They need to find a place for it. They need to modify the website to accommodate it. So we're asking the Advertising and Promotion Commission to do something that can already be accomplished with a request from an interested citizen or non-citizen for that matter.
Anna?
I guess one of my questions last week was around how many requests have been made, so how important would this be to the public? And so I did reach out to the commission, and there have been, in 2026, there have been 4 requests for information through Freedom of Information Act and 1 through an email. And it's 3 of them are made by the same person, and then the 4th one is made by one other individual. And so I don't think that this is necessary, and I would actually move to postpone indefinitely so we can vote on this.
To table indefinitely.
Table indefinitely.
That's a motion.
Yeah, she made a motion table, definitely. Is there a second?
I do have copies if anyone wants to see it.
I'll second it.
So that was a motion to table definitely by Anna Isabel and a second by Larry Williams. Is there any discussion? Travis?
Yeah, I think it's concerning to me that only 4 people have asked for these financials. I think it's because people are not aware. And so if we're against transparency and mandating that they post their financials along with their minutes, then that's the council prerogative. But in my opinion, people aren't asking because they don't know about it, not because they don't care about it. So
It's 2 people that have asked, and 3 of the requests have been from you, Travis.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. I was just going to say, I did, I did a brief amount of research, and I mean very brief, but I did check on Bentonville's website since they're our large sister city nearest by, and I didn't see their financials posted on their A&P website or anything similar. I also didn't find their meeting notes on there, so I don't know if anyone, I'd be curious if anyone wants to share with me if they've noticed a local A&P company, not that we have to constantly mirror cities around us, but not only does it seem like anyone in Bella Vista is interested in having this information at the ready, it seems like a city as large as Bentonville doesn't find it necessary to have it posted either.
Okay, we had a motion and second to table definitely, so I think we can go ahead with the roll call vote.
Council members Hart,
no.
Hughes,
No.
Newport,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel.
No.
Mayor, you may vote if you choose to.
I choose not to. I always feel when it's a council inspired resolution, I should leave it up to council.
So Mayor, the motion to table definitely has failed, and the council remains on second reading this time on the ordinance.
Yeah, so it'll go to third reading next meeting. Okay, new business. It's an ordinance waiving the requirements of formal competitive bidding and authorizing a contract with Superior Automotive Group in a total amount not to exceed $131,000 for the purchase of 2 2026 Chevrolet Tahoe SSV vehicles with police outfit for use by the police department.
Motion to approve.
Second.
This is an ordinance that requires suspension of the rules to go to third and final reading.
Oh, okay.
Motion to suspend rules and move to third and final reading.
Second.
That was Shay Newport and Larry Williams. So it'll be a roll call vote on the motion to suspend the rules and go to third and final. Roll
Council
call.
members Hart,
No.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
Hanschel,
Yes.
Motion carried, 5-1 to go to third and final. So I'll go ahead and read that. Waiving the requirements of formal competitive bidding, authorizing a contract with Superior Automotive Group in a total amount not to exceed $131,000 for the purchase of 2 2026 Chevrolet Tahoe SSV vehicles with police outfit for use by the police department. Is there any discussion?
Motion to approve.
There's a motion by Larry Williams.
Second.
Second by Shay Newport. If there's no discussion, we can go to a roll call vote on motion to approve.
Council members Hart,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
and Hanschel.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Next one is an ordinance amending the Bella Vista zoning ordinance and map to rezone property described in rezoning petition number 2026-63851. County parcel number 16-43201-000 from RE Residential Estate District to AP Agricultural Preservation District. This is on Spanker Ridge Drive. Is there any discussion?
Motion to suspend the rules and go to third and final.
Second.
That was Wendy Hughes and Larry Wilms, so there'll be a roll call vote on the motion to go to third and final.
Councilmembers Hart,
No.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
and Hanschel.
Yes.
Motion carried 5-1, so I'll read it for a third and final time. Amending the Bella Vista zoning ordinance and map to rezone property described in rezoning petition number 2026-63851, county parcel number 16-43201-000, from RE Residential State District to AP Agricultural Preservation District.
Motion to approve.
Second.
That was Larry Wilms and Wendy Hughes. Is there any discussion? No? Why? We can go ahead with the roll call vote, then a motion to approve.
Councilmembers Hart,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
and Hanschel.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Next one is an ordinance amending ordinance number 2025-16, establishing a business license to repeal subsection 4F to make clear that lawful home-based businesses, including home-based property management businesses and home-based short-term rental management businesses, are exempt from the business license requirement, while still providing that such businesses conducted outside the home are not exempt and for other purposes. Wendy Hughes.
Yes, so if the council is agreeable with the original wording of the ordinance as it is, I am more than happy to withdraw this or I guess table indefinitely. Is there any thought or discussion?
Shay.
After what Mr. Kelly shared with us last week, I'm happy with the ordinance as written personally.
Mayor.
Travis.
Yeah, I am too. Like I said earlier, though, I think the intent behind both of these is good. We're just trying to clear up some confusion, but I'm hopeful that as we move forward with the new business license, it was just a growing pain initially. So, but I think, I agree with the council. The original one is fine. If we need to come back and clean it up and make it easier for the average small business owner to understand, then that's certainly something I can provide to the council out of it.
Anna.
So then we're looking at M was also to be withdrawn as well as Q.
M moves to third reading next month, and so M is still on. And then, so we're just talking about item Q at this point.
So clarifying question, after we move past, we cannot go back in this meeting?
If there was an appropriate motion to suspend the rules and take, which I could word for someone if they wanted to do that, to go ahead and get M off of the agenda for next month and table that indefinitely, if somebody says they would want to do that, I could help them frame a motion to do that at any point, but preferably after we deal with item Q.
So let me go ahead and, do Q real quick. So motion to table Q indefinitely.
Seconded.
That is Wendy Hughes and Shane Newport. So, roll call. Was there any more discussion?
Yeah,
Travis.
if the planning director is here, is she available to answer a question for us regarding if she thinks that this ordinance would be helpful in clearing up confusion, or?
So
Wendy.
personally, I'd like to withdraw it, mainly because it does not mention the STR portion of it. It would eliminate that. And I want to make sure that STRs are protected on that, so that's why I want to.
We could, if we wanted to keep it, we could just amend that section of it next month.
We could back it together, but based on the current language from the discussion prior, I feel confident that as is, it's fine.
Okay.
But thank you.
So do you want to have Taylor answer questions, or you want to just go ahead and vote on the motion to withdraw? Or motion to table indefinitely, I should say.
We'll just motion to table indefinitely, and I'll get with Taylor at a later date.
Okay.
If it becomes an issue again.
Okay, so we're ready for a roll call vote on the motion to table indefinitely.
Councilmembers Harb,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
and Hanschel.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Thank you for that.
So
And-
Mayor, I don't know if is there a desire to try to deal with item M at this point?
Yes.
Okay, so, Mayor, a way that can be done is if a council member moves to suspend the rules and reconsider item M immediately for purposes of tabling it indefinitely. And further,
And then
to table item M indefinitely.
Would that
So
be
it'll be
all?
one vote.
Oh, one motion?
We're going to try to put it all together in one vote.
Okay.
I motion to do what you just said.
It'll be, we've got a good transcriptionist here who's going to write that down. So I
Second.
think you all understand what I mean. We're going to bring back M and table it indefinitely. You're going to do two things in one.
Second.
I'll second.
I think Larry Wilms already seconded. So that was Wendy Hughes and Larry Wilms on the motion to bring back item M and
To suspend the
table it
rules.
indefinitely. Yeah, suspend the rules, bring back item M and table it indefinitely. Roll call vote.
Thanks for your patience, you did that right.
Okay.
Okay, so roll call vote on the motion to suspend the rules and bring back item M. It's council members Harb,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
and Hanschel.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Thank you for that. Next one is a resolution R approving the mayor's reappointment of Elizabeth Duncan to the Tree Advisory Board, position 5, for a 3-year term ending May 1, 2029.
Motion to approve.
Second.
That was Shane Newport and Travis Hart. It's a motion to approve Elizabeth Duncan. Roll call vote.
Council members Harb,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
and Hanschel.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Thank you. Next one is a resolution approving the mayor's appointment of Benjamin Sassine to the Tree Advisory Board, position 4, for a 3-year term ending May 1, 2029. I believe he's present.
Motion to approve.
Second.
That was Wendy Hughes and Anna Isbell. Roll call vote on the motion to approve Benjamin Sassine.
Council members Harb,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
and Fowler. Oops, I'm sorry. Excuse me, this was a copy paste. Hanschel,
Me, yes.
so sorry.
That's okay.
Motion carried 6-0. Thank you for that. Next one is a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into a contract with Garrett Excavating Inc. at the amount of $99.31 per ton for asphalt tree resurfacing, hot mix overlay. And further authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into a contract with Vance Brothers LLC in the amount of $3.13 per square yard for slurry seal streets.
Motion to approve.
Second.
That was Shane Newport and Wendy Hughes. Any discussion? Okay, we'll have a roll call vote.
Council members Harb,
Yes.
Hughes,
Yes.
Newport,
Yes.
Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
Yes.
and Hanschel.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Thank you for that. Next one is a resolution amending the rules of order and procedure of the Bella Vista City Council regarding provisions for council response to public comment. I believe this was Larry Wilms. Did you want to?
I don't have much to add. I think the staff attorney, Kelly, did a very nice job of summarizing the rationale for wanting to modify our rules to delete this option for us. It sometimes can put us in a precarious position of responding when maybe we shouldn't be, because of the sensitivity of the issues.
So this would be allowing public comment, but not having city council reply. Not a shame.
Take that off our agenda.
While I really appreciate that Mr. Wells wants to safeguard the city and council from accidentally speaking, I do think most of our elected officials, we're elected to represent and to respond and have dialogue with the public, and I would just encourage any city council member who's uncertain if they're saying the right thing or if they might be putting the city in a precarious situation to instead refrain from speaking rather than removing the ability to reply to the public in general. So I don't support this, but I appreciate the thought.
Travis?
Thanks, Mayor. You know, the Arkansas Municipal League said that social media is one of the biggest tools that the government could utilize today. So I was happy to learn of a survey that one of my fellow council members put online and got a lot of feedback that I'm told, and pretty much all of the constituents that weighed in on this are against it, and I am too. I agree with what Shay said. We shouldn't limit everyone's ability because of somebody's inability.
Wendy?
Mr. Wells, I do appreciate this. I know where your heart is with this, and I respect it. I am a council member who did ask constituents across the board, what are your thoughts? Because I understand where you're coming from, and I agree where you're coming from. I also agree with the initial heart of this for Mr. Burke when he proposed this originally. And with that, like Ms. Newport said, we have the ability to not respond as well. And it is the role of the mayor to make sure that we are kind of in check, in line. And so I know that it has not happened here at this council. In the future, if it happens to happen, I have full faith that the mayor will be able to point of order. Also, I do have a question, Jason. Are we, during council reply, able to do a point of order if it's getting past your quorum rules?
Not really.
Okay.
What was that? If it's getting what?
Well, I know that council members can do a point of order if something's getting off topic or if it's out of line, other instances sometimes, but I didn't know if during council reply if that was appropriate or allowed.
No, that really wouldn't be. Your rules don't allow that. I'd like to, Mayor, with your indulgence, I did put a memo in the packet about this, and just so everyone understands, because there are, and I only speak up when there are legal issues, as you all know that. And so I just want to go over this very briefly, because I don't know that it's come to everyone's attention, and I just want to make sure that the record's clear on what my recommendation is as we move ahead. As you know, your current rules provide for for council reply period to make any comment you desire in response to what has been said. And that structure has worked at times, but is increasingly creating more of a legal risk for the city. And I just want to point out a few things to you. First, there is no legal requirement that the council respond to public comments. The public has the right to address you during the designated comment period. However, neither the Arkansas Freedom of Information Act nor state municipal law requires contemporaneous replies by members of the governing body. The comment period can stand on its own without a formal response segment. Secondly, the reply period puts members in a difficult position, members as in all of you. When citizens raise serious concerns, especially about police conduct, personnel matters, or threatened litigation, there is a natural instinct to say something. Silence can feel uncomfortable, but speaking off the cuff in those moments can create real legal problems for the city. We recently had an example where a council member offered an almost like apology-like comment regarding a police issue that had not been adjudicated. And while that comment certainly was well intended, statements of that nature may later be characterized as admissions in litigation, may complicate pending investigations, and may affect the city's legal posture and insurance considerations. That risk is heightened by the council's own code of conduct, which expressly provides that individual council members have no legal authority outside meetings of the council and cautions members not to make promises on behalf of the council or city staff. When statements are made from the dais during a formal meeting, the public reasonably hears them as official, even if they are not backed by a vote of the council. I would also highlight a procedural concern. One of your rules provides that business at regular council meetings is limited to matters listed on the agenda unless the rules are suspended by 2/3 vote. When substantive discussion occurs in response to public comments on matters not otherwise on the agenda, the council risks drifting into consideration of issues that have not been properly noticed. Eliminating the reply period would better align meeting practice with the structure already set out in the rules. I don't believe that attempting to place formal limits on the scope of replies, which is one of the things that's been suggested, would solve the problem. Drawing lines about what can and cannot be discussed, what can or cannot be discussed in the moment would be difficult to administer and would still leave members making judgment calls under pressure. It would likely be unworkable in practice. And for those are really the reasons that my recommendation is that the council reply period not be a part of your agenda. I know of no other city that has such a period. Your service is a reply to the public. You have access, you can comment to the public as you see fit at any time. I think one of the issues that came up in the past that led to this was we had some very emotional public comments, and it was just sort of, they were made and the room was hanging. And okay, next item on the agenda is, and that didn't go over very well. And I think there was a thought by some that there needs to be something more than said. And I think that could be handled by the mayor, just simply thanking speakers where it's appropriate. Note to them that matters could be referred to the staff or placed on a future agenda, thanking them and kindly moving forward with the agenda. So that's my recommendation on how to deal with that particular part of it. So I just want you to know when I make a recommendation, there are some legal reasons for it. It's certainly not the substance of the comments or the actual doing of the comments or anything like that. But I just wanted to make sure that that was on the record before we make a formal decision.
I guess I would like to comment is that we have the list of citizens that speak. They usually provide contact information. We certainly can be free to contact them afterwards by following up with that list. So it doesn't prevent us from following up and doing personal contact with anyone who comes to speak as the public member of the community.
Travis?
I certainly appreciate the legal concerns there, but the citizens have spoken, and me, I would like to make a motion to table this indefinitely.
Well, it's a resolution that we were just going to vote on, so I don't think you really need to table it then. You can, if everyone votes no, the rest should be voted. And
Yeah, I appreciate everything that you said from a legal standpoint, and I understand where you're coming from as well, Larry. But I think that it's really important that as elected officials that we use good judgment and restraint when we're speaking to the public, whether it's on social media or here, and that we're always being truthful and not misleading. And certainly in this case, when we're representing the city, giving legal advice or making it a bad situation for the city. But I think we all have the responsibility to use that judgment to respond to the public, so I do not support this resolution.
so we can go ahead with the vote, or, I imagine it's not incorrect to table indefinitely, if you'd rather do it that way.
I made the motion. I don't know if it died for lack of second or what happened.
So there's a motion to table indefinitely.
Why don't we just have a roll call vote?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, Shay Newport made a motion to approve, and Larry Williams made a second. I think we've all discussed, so we'll have a roll call vote.
Council members Hart,
No.
Hughes,
No.
Newport,
No.
Wilms,
Yes.
Isbell,
No.
Hanschel.
Yes.
Motion failed 2-4. Next item is a resolution to provide for a study of city participation in the Arkansas Public Employee Retirement System, APRS, for non-uniform city employees. Travis, did you want to say something about this?
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. I will start off by just trying to encourage council that this is, before we get too far into debate on this, this is just a resolution to study the feasibility and to, I guess, survey the people that would be subject to this retirement system if they were actually interested or not. And the reason why I brought this to the council is because I know in the past somebody had tried to get this approved and the city said that it was too expensive. But as we're growing and as our sales tax improve, while we're sitting inside of a $20 million building, it seems disingenuous to me to tell our employees that we can't take care of them financially. I understand we invest a lot in capital. I think it's time to invest in our human resources. So that was the idea behind this. And like I said, before we get too deep into the debate whether this is a good or a bad thing, I think we just need to figure out if we want them to study it and survey the people that would be on this new retirement system.
Speaking for myself, I'm fine with studying it. I don't think necessarily taking a poll is the way to go, frankly. But, you know, perhaps we could study it for a while and we can decide later whether we want to take a poll or not. There's a lot of problematic things about a poll. One is passing this would be a pay cut for at least 6 or 7 people, maybe more. Anybody left in the next 5 years would be a pay cut. And for a lot of people, it would be a 10% pay cut. So, you know, I hate to say, oh, we had a vote, and it was 60 to 50 to do it, so sorry, you get a 10% pay cut the last 3 years you worked for it. You know, I don't feel real good about that. That's just one example of many. You know, there's some people it would be good for, some it wouldn't be good for. There's a million different things. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. But I'm fine with studying it. I just don't know. I know our human resources person was very reluctant about the poll idea, and it is problematic in a lot of ways. But there's nothing wrong with studying it. Anna?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I mean, the study might be one thing. I mean, we've already been providing quite a bit of information, so it doesn't look like a great idea. But never in my career working for several corporations have I ever been offered a vote in what health plan or savings plan we go with, whatever the company chooses to go with. There are options within that plan, and so I think it's very similar here. The plan has to be chosen by those that are entrusted with the plan, and then the decisions are made within it. I agree.
Travis?
Well, I would just try to use some logic that is often used on me to shoot down my proposals, and let's look at what other cities are doing. Because I believe that this is a better retirement system that provides a pension, and we can't get people away from cities that have that because they don't want to lose their pension. So I think the majority of the other cities in Northwest Arkansas are doing this, and that's a common question that is utilized against me for my proposal. So I would just encourage that we find that answer in this study as well. And like I said, I just find this to be something that's taking care of our human resources. It's a better retirement system than a deferred compensation plan, in my opinion.
Wendy?
Again, this is just for a study. I think we can all agree that, I can't speak for anybody else, that a study does not hurt anything. Once we get more data, more facts, then we can make an educated decision of what's going to be better all around financially for both the city, the employees, and everything. So motion to approve.
Second.
So that's a motion by Wendy Hughes and a second by Travis. Larry, did you want to say something?
My comment was that when the city incorporated, we're a new city in Arkansas. We haven't been around for 20 years or 40 years or 100 years like some of the cities in our neighborhood have. And so it was a natural evolution for them to become a part of the state system. The reality is that not 100% of our members are employees participate in the retirement program that we have now. We offer for the first 5% of their wages a matching $2 for every dollar that they choose to put in. We don't have 100% participation. When we did start the city, and after we were in business for a couple of years, the city realized that they needed to add that component, and so they took a survey of the employees at the city at the time, and the vote was unanimous to go with the 401k or 457 plan as opposed to going with the other one. Part of it was, I think, cost, but the reality was that the employees actually voted and they made that choice. To change now will cost the city, because it's 100% participation. If we go to the state program, the APRS program, it's 100%. Everybody is in or everybody is out. And so if we choose to go that route, it will cost us over $500,000 a year to participate in that program. That means everyone will participate. It's the numbers preliminarily from the HR department was $547,000 and some change, which is a substantial number. If you recall, in the 25 budget approval that we had, we adopted a budget that was $750,000 in the red, meaning that we would have to take from reserves. The end of the year, the red went away and we were in the green at the end of the year. But that's not a given. That's not a guarantee. There will be a point in time when sales tax will not be increasing like it has been for us. And we can see with the report of the mayor for the February issue is that our county sales tax, which is a huge portion of our revenue, is down 7.7% this year. That will impact us, especially if it continues throughout the year. So we may not finish 2026 in the black, we may finish it in the red, even with good management by our department heads and the mayor. So I caution you all that we need to carefully go through and look at this, studying it further. If you choose to do that, that's fine. I think that it's not unreasonable to do that, but I think the answer, quite frankly, is that it's out of our realm today until we get a lot more sales tax generated within Bella Vista proper. So.
Shay?
I just wanted to chime in that I received an email, and it looks like all of you all were copied in on it as well, from a city employee stating that they were really against it. They listed out several reasons why, so I would encourage you all to read that email. I responded to him individually. I did not reply at all. And I thanked him for his remarks and told him that generally I'm agreeable to studying almost anything as long as it's ethical. He responded back and had a really great point, which I want to share with all of you, which is that even just doing a study is a usage of city resources and time, and so we ought to be thoughtful about what we're going to ask to have studied. And so for me, something that annually is 2% of our budget, of this year's budget for revenue, when we have quite a bit of information already in front of us that Glenda provided, I do find it to be a waste of city resources to study something further that seems very not feasible. So I'm against it. Thank you.
Well, if you'd like to take a vote that's more substantive, I have some facts I can relay to you. I thought I would wait until we had studied, but I could relay some facts.
Let's hear it.
There's over 500 cities in Arkansas, and 187 of them have this plan. The one major city close to us that does not is Fayetteville. But there's plenty of cities that do have it. My first thought is if council, and this has happened several times, when council comes up with ideas that are a lot of money, I consider $564,000 a lot of money, they should identify some revenue source. Not just, gee, we're gonna spend $564,000 more. You know, when the people, the department heads come up with things, they say, it's from the bond, it's from the budget, or it's from reserves. It has to be one of those three, right? So, I think it's incumbent on you to figure out where the revenue is gonna come. But aside from that, put that aside. What we pay right now for our fire and police pension is $1.6 million. That's what it was in 2025. Our unfunded liability for the fire and police pension was $8.3 million in 2022. And at the end of 2024 is $16.7 million. Now all we do is lot fee tells us what to pay, and we pay it. They take the money, they invest it, and then that was a spectacular increase. And I checked into how that happened, and they say it's due to changes in actuarial assumptions, meaning people are living longer, and poor investment performance. I don't know what they did investment-wise, but it's the same way with APRS. All we do is give money, somebody else invests it, who we have no control over. So, I do think and I care very much about the employees. I want them to be happy, I want them to be compensated fairly. I do think that it's incumbent upon us to represent the residents and the taxpayers. That's who we're actually supposed to be looking out for. Now, in my case, being mayor, I feel like I need to look out for the employees also. So our current system we have right now, in my opinion, is not broken. You know, you said Walmart is a 6% match. I assume that's after you put in 6%. So our system, you put in 5% and you get a 10% match. I checked a little more on some of the others. In Tyson's, you put in 5% and you get a 4% match. J.B. Hunt matches 50 cents on the dollar up to 3%. So you put up 6%, they match 3%. So we're miles ahead of all the biggest private employers, who it's fair to say are all much richer than us. We're miles ahead of all of them with our current plan. So we have 6 to 7 employees who would almost surely take a pay cut, in most cases a pay cut of 10%. We have at least 6 employees who left I personally identified 6 who left an APRS job and came to us. They had APRS and they jumped jobs to us, even though they had APRS there and not here. We have street employees who leave the company. That's one of the areas where we have some turnover. There's never been one go to an APRS job. They jump us and they go to construction where they have a 401k or maybe even nothing. It's all about the money, short-term money. County dispatch has a pension, and their turnover is way worse than our dispatch, always has been. It has to do with other things besides just your APRS. We have no problem hiring employees. When we have a new job opening, we have plenty of applications, quality applications. The turnover in City Hall, planning and development, and library is way lower than police and fire. It's not even close. And they have a pension and a good pension. And yet our turnover in these other places, there's been no turnover in City Hall since I've been here. So, to me, it doesn't appear to be something that's needed. It appears to me to be fair compared to other people. I agree that it's not as strong as the police and fire. As far as our participation rate, it's right around 70% of our employees. It's about 110 employees. Glenda got all this for me, and it's about 70%. And that means 30% of the people would rather have cash. You know, with our plan, you actually have some freedom. With their plan, interesting thing about APRS is right now they're taking out 6.2%. And they've also announced that they're for the employees. So you have to pay 6.2% whether you want to be on it or not. You don't have that now. You can do what you want. They've already announced they're increasing it every year up to 7%. So this is a math challenge for you. Why would they be increasing it from 6.2% to 7% when the benefits stay the same? In other words, APRS is getting a little worse every year for the employees because they're not making it. That's why. And it's going to continue to be like that. And if you take this on, you're going to end up having a pension liability like we do with our other pension. That's where you're going to end up. $10, $15 million down the road. It's almost a sure thing. Happens all the time with defined benefit plans. And that's why private companies don't have them. You know, when they started Social Security in 1935, the average person lived to be 62. It's a great plan. We'll pay you money when you're 65, only you'll never be 65. So it works out very well. Now we've got people living to be 90 and 100, which is a great thing. That's good. But for a defined benefit pension plan, it creates quite a challenge. So, Shane?
And I just wanted to clarify, I believe we heard last week, but if we were to enter APRS, we could never ever exit. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Glenda's checked on several things with APRS that were interesting. The decision to join APRS is irrevocable. Right now, the employer contribution is 15.32%. And it's subject to change annually based on actuarial data. It could be anything in the future. So that 564,000 she showed you, where that's, I mean, it could be anything. You're entering in the complete unknown. And I mentioned about the employee contribution going up. So anyway, it just seems like a daunting financial challenge, I guess I'd say. Larry?
I have one comment relative to Councilman Harp's comment that we're in a $20 million building. We are in a $20 million building, I guess. But the reality is that that was not from our budget. That was paid for by a bond issue, which was supported by a 1% sales tax. So the public paid for this building separately from their contributions of sales tax and real estate tax and all of those other things. So it was completely separate. So it is an expensive building. I think it's a very lovely building and it's planned for the future. But the reality is that that was not out of our annual revenues that we received, that we spend for capital projects. So just to clarify.
To be clear, I'm not saying we should not do anything different with the police or fire pension. It's existing, it's been existing for a while, and I think we need to stick with it. I'm just not sure it's a good idea to add more onto that. Travis?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. To answer your question, we could buy approximately 7.5 less tacos per year to pay for this. I think that 187 out of the 500 cities do this because it's a good benefit for the employees. And I don't think having a lack of turnover is an argument against this. I think it's an argument for this because if they're staying here, they'll have a stake-back pension that will be paid to them in perpetuity for as long as they live. That's not something they get in the 401k because we remember in 2020 the 401k went to a 201k for most of us. So anyways, I would encourage the staff to poll the people that would be paying this. I understand you're reluctant to do so, but I think that's what really matters, if they want to do this or not, and then if we could afford it or not. And like Mr. Larry said, back in 2012, they opted out because of the cost. I think things are different now. And I think if we have a chance to take care of our city staff, then that's what we should do. And that's my attempt to do this, to bring this study, is to take care of them. And also, one more thing. Yes, the major employers, you might have a higher percentage of a contribution rate, but they have a much lower salary here. So one of the benefits of working for the government is that you actually should have that retirement. That's why it's kind of a supplement their income with a good pension plan. That was always my opinion when I went to work for the government at least.
Craig?
Well, this is what I was getting at last week when we were talking about this in work session. This is the discussion that I wanted to have. Because number one, I'm not going to pretend that I can speak on behalf of employees or their families. I don't know their financial situations. I don't know what makes that extra $30 or $40 a week that they may be getting shorted, that's getting put into a retirement fund that they're never going to touch for 40 years or whatever the case is. That doesn't help them in the moment. So especially in this there's no telling what anybody's going through right now. I wouldn't be comfortable entering into any kind of agreement without some kind of safety hatch. I would be curious to see how many cities down the road might try some legal maneuvering to get out of those contracts. I can't imagine getting roped into something where it's just, sky's the limit as far as what the contributions and what the percentages and all that kind of stuff. So, for me, I wouldn't be supportive of anything like this. So, thank you.
Travis?
And just to answer your question about the safety net, if I'm not mistaken, this is a state-backed pension. Is Glenda here? Can she answer that?
It's backed by the integrity of the municipalities belonging to it. They own it.
Yeah, and for
State
them to,
manages it, we own it.
yeah, from my understanding, for them to not pay your pension, they'd have to liquidate all of the state-owned assets. So that's the safety net. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that as far as opting out, we're putting people into a situation where they don't have a choice, and that aspect is no for me.
Well, one of the things we noticed with employees, because it's so immediate, the one benefit that's a big, big thing is medical. And Glenda's done a great job in our medical. We went to the self-insured, and it's worked out great. It's really helped us and helped the employees. But people taking jobs that they're very interested in the pay, and the first thing is medical. Pensions isn't close to medical, and their thought process of medical is huge. If you don't think it is, then try to sit around without any medical coverage for a while. Then when you get that job, you're pretty happy. It's much bigger than the pension. The fact we were able to keep our medical strong is very important, I think.
I think to take a poll of the employees would be a false result, because we cannot convey to them adequately or completely the two sides that are there. And the two sides are much of what Mayor Flynn summarized tonight. I think it's a decision that we as a council need to weigh and determine. I think our employees are competitively paid, or we wouldn't have good employees. That's number one. And we have some good employees. It goes all the way through the city, whether they're a part of the fire department, the police department, the street department, the planning and permits department. We have good employees. We don't have them because we don't pay well.
Well, we heard the mayor say the highest turnover was in police and fire, just because we're not competitive with the other cities in our area. They're leaving for a higher pay.
Well, there's such a thing as, and that's been an ongoing issue with all of the cities in northwest Arkansas. We train them and then they hire them, so.
Anyways, I feel like we got off topic from just the study.
The mayor has motion, second.
There's no motion in a second to do the study.
Right.
Okay, you ready for roll call vote? Okay, roll call vote.
Councilmembers Hart,
Yes.
Hughes,
No.
Newport,
No.
Wilms,
No.
Isbell,
No.
Hanschel.
No.
Motion failed 1-5. So, that's 5 Commission for public hearing and recommendation and zoning code change to prevent newly constructed electrical meters in the front of a residence if the residence is more than 50 feet from the street right away. Shane?
I was really impacted by what I believe Council Member Wilms had shared last week, that it really seemed to be a huge public safety issue to have the meter anywhere along the property line away from the home. The utility company would only be able to trace to the meter, and we would not be able to trace that line further. I know I would be distressed if I purchased a home where perhaps hundreds of feet of electric is untraceable by the utility company. So I don't support this. I don't think it's in the interest of the public.
Larry?
I guess I don't see it as a benefit to the public either. It may seem to be a convenient short term, and maybe in a couple instances it may save a few bucks. That's true. There is a reason for the property being located more than 50 feet away from the right of way. That's a property owner choice. It's not because it was mandatory or required by our code anywhere that I can tell. So I can't support the proposal.
Wendy?
Motion to approve.
Second.
That was Wendy Hughes and Anna Isbell. Is there more discussion, or are we ready for a vote? Okay, roll call vote.
Council members Hart,
Yes.
Hughes,
No.
Newport,
No.
Wilms,
No.
Isbell,
No.
Hanschel,
No.
Motion failed, 1-5. Next item is announcements. The next city council work session is 6 p.m. Monday, May 18 at Bella Vista Police Training Room.
Not here?
No, that's in the courtroom. That's a mistake, I'm sorry. Next city council regular meeting, 6 p.m. Tuesday, May 26th. It's Tuesday because of the Memorial holiday. At Bella Vista District Court, Planning Commission work session, 4:30 p.m. Thursday, April 30 at Bella Vista District Court. Planning Commission regular meeting, 4:30 p.m. or immediately following BZA, Monday, May 11 at Bella Vista District Court. Board of Construction Appeals, 3 p.m. Tuesday, May 12 if necessary at Fire Station number 4 Conference Room, and that's at 1639 Forest Hills Boulevard. If there's nothing else, then we're adjourned.